Hey guys, it's Lydia, still guest, still doing bits. Let's get into it. Okay guys, I need to know, what do you think of my motto, because I feel like it's really cheesy, so I don't know whether to stick to it or not. Just let me know in the comment below what you think, and we'll go from there. So this video is going to be all about my hearing loss and the journey that I went on with this. So I'm going to go to the very beginning, which is my childhood, and I don't know how many parts there are going to be, so this is just going to be part 1, and then any more depth topics that I can come up with, there'll be part 2, part 3, part 4, and so on. So as far as I'm concerned, my hearing loss wasn't diagnosed until I was 4 years old. So I actually don't know if I was born hearing or born deaf before it got to that point. So how did we find out that I was actually deaf? So with babies back then, back in 2000, we all had to have hearing tests, and they would do 2 bricks and they would band them together, and that was used to try and get the baby's attention. Now, I didn't turn around, but I did eventually look to where the brick was. It just took some time, but they didn't think anything of it, and it was a pretty stupid hearing test back then, because like a baby had no like spatial awareness at that point, so we didn't think anything of it. And then it got to preschool, and one of the teachers came up to my mum and she said that there might be something up with me, and mum didn't really want to believe it, but she booked me in for an audiology test, and that's when we found out that I had severe high frequency hearing loss. So what that means is I can't hear very high frequency sounds. So it's weird though, because I can hear the telephone ringing, the birds singing. I mean, birds nowadays, they're not singing, they're screaming, right? So I can hear that, but I actually don't know what sort of high frequency sound that I can't hear. Like, I'm still sort of navigating through that actually. So I guess from the age of 4 years old, I also learned to lip read. Lip reading is something that can't be taught, so I kind of did that myself, which is so weird. It's just so interesting to me how I have all these things and I still don't know the answer to them. It's just like how did a 4-year-old know how to lip read at that point? It's so weird. Anyway, getting back into this. So growing up, I had quite a few different coloured hearing aids, because when you're a child, you do get that option to have whatever colour you want. So from the top of my head, I had a purple one, a blue one. I'm sure there was something else, but I can't remember. And then when you get to your adulthood, you get the shit one. So I have this nice silver metallic one, if you can see, which is not too bad, and it's so much better than like getting brown ones. You know, those awful, ugly brown ones that's so like 70s, 80s, 90s. You will never see me wear a brown hearing aid in my life. Like, they're so good. But I actually don't understand why as an adult you don't get the option of having colours now. I don't understand that logic. Can someone please explain that to me? Anyway, let's go to school. So I always had an LSA helper, so that stands for Learning Support Assistant, and I would have them in every single written class that I had. I didn't need them in PE, dance or anything practical. It was just for like the verbal classes, and they would write notes for me in case I missed out on any information from the teachers, any important information that I do need to know, and they would just write it down, and then I'll look at the note, put it into my note, so I'm not like lazy or anything. And then I also had radio aid. Now, obviously, technology is always evolving. So back then, my very first radio aid, I'll have some pictures up so you know exactly what they look like. So I had one that would go around the waist, and there would be 2 wires going up, and they would clip onto the end of my hearing aid. So I had to wear that in primary school. Then when it got to secondary school, thank goodness, it was only the teacher that had to wear the equipment. So they would wear like a necklace basically, have this mic on, and then my hearing aid would be connected via Bluetooth. But I didn't have a Bluetooth hearing aid at the point. I really can't remember. But it was just connected, and I didn't have to wear anything. Yeah, I didn't like my first radio age in primary school. One, because it's just so, it was really uncomfortable at times. When you're sitting down, you have this like thing like sickening you, and it was so visible as well. Like everyone could see what I was wearing, and it must have looked so weird to them. At the time, I really didn't care what others thought. Even in secondary school and college, I did not care. But when it got to secondary school, and I had to be at the front for every single class, I always just felt this embarrassment. Like every time a teacher would ask me a question, I hated answering them. I either didn't know the answer, or I might have known the answer, but I was afraid of saying the wrong answer. And yeah, that's like a complete separate thing. That's nothing to do with my hearing. I feel like my school experience was pretty much the same with everyone. Like everyone gets bullied in school. I didn't particularly get bullied about my hearing loss or the way that I spoke. Everyone was quite respectful with that actually, surprisingly. Another thing to add to my school experience, when it came to GCSEs, I did get 25% more time than everyone else. And that was the same with anyone that had like learning difficulties, ADHD, anything, they would get 25% more than normal hearing people. So yeah, that was like my school experience. I want to talk about my speech problems as well. So you might notice I'm pretty much more articulated with my words, but my mouth movement to me is still really weird. Back then though, I wouldn't have been speaking like this. Like I was mumbling a lot of words. And you know what? I do actually have a clip from when I was in a competition that I won called Raising the Bar, and that was the charity called National Deaf Children's Society. You would know about that if you followed me for my marathon journey. Because it was that charity that gave me that competition, and I had to speak in front of the camera as part of their like documentary, I guess. And at the time I had braces on, so that really did not help with my speech problem at all. I'm gonna play this video right now.
My name is Lydia and I love dancing because it's my passion and I have been doing it since I was 3. I'm here today to do a masterclass with 2 professional deaf dancers and hopefully learn some new movements that I haven't done before.
So I'm absolutely still cringing at the way that I spoke. It was just very like, it was just like, it was weird. I didn't go to speech therapy, actually. I was sort of like given exercises to do in school, but I never did them because I just didn't have the time. It was for me, my daily routine was get up, go to school, go to dance, eat and sleep, repeat. I didn't have time to do my speech therapy. It wasn't like seriously recommended that I go to it. It was kind of like, well, you have that option to take it or not, and I just didn't take it. But my speech problem then started to improve when I went to professional college. So I went to performing college in Essex, and I did 3 years of dance training and musical theatre training, and we would have voice lessons. So in voice we would do exercises, we would learn how to breathe properly, tongue twisters. So it was actually the tongue twisters that improved my speech problem. It was hard. There were things that we had to do on our own in front of the whole class, so that made me really self-conscious. At the same time, I still got myself up there and did it because honestly I just have nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose back then, I still have nothing to lose now. That's the way my mindset has always been. Yeah, very grateful that I went through with all of those voice lessons because I wouldn't be speaking the way that I am now if it wasn't for that. So that is my childhood part done. I feel like I've covered most topics. There'll probably be something that sticks out of that I'm like, oh, should have talked about that as well. But if that does get to that point, I will put it in another video because I want to keep all of my videos short, so it's more engaging and I'm not rambling. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know any questions that you might have, in regard to anything to do with my hearing loss, my childhood, school, my radio age, anything. Just put it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. I either answer them in the comments or answer them in the next video. Until then, see you in the next one. Bye!